Let me jump over to this, and then jump over in with the group. It might be. I see. I see. I see. Hold on. I'm just checking something real quick. Quack. It's true. I don't think anybody simps for the mole man. Shrimps, excuse me. Were people? Oh yeah, little Billy was going after Candace. Oh, well. Okay. I am going to share my screen because there's no better way for me to really do this, since the file is too big for me to put in Roll20. So let me do this. Okay, let me hit this for y'all. I'm going to mute myself.
gone missing in an abandoned part of Fairy Hook. The monster itself was an all-black silhouette of a humanoid apparition that was in actuality the vengeful phantom of one Lucas Hyder that was killed by his wife, Kierce Hyder, in their home at Fairy Hook 30 years ago. It was able to control the state of the house to maintain its condition to its liking, making it hard to investigate the house itself for any clues. According to the report, the investigations did not go as swimmingly as mine did, which, again, does not give me high hope for future missions. However, the monster was ultimately subdued by enraging it and making it corporeal to exorcise it, making the mission a success. One of the 3 kids was found severely injured, but thankfully James was able to treat them to help them enough until they found some medical care. However, nothing really related to the uptick in monsters was discovered, but I may like to investigate this Kierce Hyder more someday as a potential person of interest. The final hunt was performed by a team of Ash, Em, and Noah. Noah I trust to be good at what he does, and it seemed he performed to expectations. Ash and Em seem to be a chaotic pair of friends, but Em, at least, is much more quiet and keeps to themselves more. Ash, however, proved to be a chaotic and inclined towards destruction as anticipated based on reported damage caused at the bridge. Given some of that damage is also caused by the monster itself, but better decisions could have probably been made and executed better. Speaking of the monster, this one was a seemingly harmless, 2-foot-tall imp that could turn itself invisible. This motley crew was investigating the damage caused by this monster and how to stop its rampage through Great Rock. It was inclined towards more violent and dangerous pranks, although I definitely more refer to it as borderline terrorism than pranks, that caused damage and would wound people prior to it and during the hunt, hunters included. It was ultimately subdued thanks to the baiting the imp into trying to attack the hunters in its nest, and some clever use of water and spray paint to allow it to remain visible when it tried to turn invisible. They were able to retrieve the imp for Ellie's research, but at the moment it does not have any clear connection to the recent uptick in monsters either. I hope something interesting related to this great mystery comes from Ellie's results. At this time, there's a lot unknown, but I will get to the bottom of it all in due time. I plan to keep you all updated each month with a new installation of my findings and thoughts. Until next month, my loyal readers. Hello again, my fellow.
And there we have it. I realized, thanks to Shades, partway through that because I was in VR last night, I didn't have audio on. But that's okay. I'm just going to play this again at the end of the session for people watching. So you guys got to all hear that, though.
Yeah.
This is going to be sort of a monthly thing where I'm going to have either Nuck do this live, or if he can't make it, record it. And it's essentially going to be a recap of all of the hunts and sort of the current overarching mystery. So, and nice and in character, because that's sort of Wallace's character. So
The amount of roasting. The amount of roasting towards Ash, Jesus.
Everybody got a little
Everybody
bit.
got a little bit roasted. Damn.
What are you talking about? He called me Tarlober and then just stopped talking. It's great. I'm calling it a win.
For him mentioning me at all, so.
It's true. I didn't get much of a mention either, other than just like broadly talking about you during the hunt.
You were regarded as a trusted
you got trusted companion.
Is this
Nah,
something
that's
that
just
the
fun.
characters
Don't
read,
worry.
or is this just outside knowledge?
What was that?
Is this something that the characters read, or is this outside the knowledge?
I mean, everything in here would pretty much be stuff that everybody knows.
All right.
I mean, it sounds like it was a blog,
Yeah.
which means you could probably just find it online. So
Yeah, this is part of Wallace's blog, if you would follow that. But also, pretty much everything said in here would be stuff that everybody would know just looking at, like, reports of the other people's hunts. Because that's all Wallace had to go off of as well, was his own hunt that he was on, which he had a little bit more information about, and then just slight details about every other hunt. So, that is all common knowledge. That's why I'm fine showing you all this at the start of this session. But let's get into things. Looks like we're not getting a Bulby because he's messing with moving stuff right now, and Derek is currently MIA, but that is fine. He'll probably show up eventually. So we are going to just sort of jump right into things. Let me get the right thing here. And just to make sure everybody is here alive and well, I need to...
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I am all.
So is this a roll call?
Yeah, cool. What are we? With most of the group gathered in Middle Tower lobby, a smiling Candace rolls the chalkboard into the room. All Middle Tower staff are currently gathered in the room, except for a select few hunters. Alrighty, to recap the last month, you all did a wonderful job keeping Lacrimosa safe. We managed to stop all threats before a single casualty was taken, which is excellent news. There were, of course, injuries, but no actual deaths. So, wonderful, wonderful job. This news has sort of put us on the map for a lot of citizens, and for the most part, all the feedback was positive. The public now knows your faces, which is a double-edged sword. From now on, make sure to be careful when dealing with civilians. If you treat them poorly, it could make things not go so smoothly for other people's hunts and for hunts moving forward. We want the populace to be cooperative and work with us and not against us, and try to sort of solve these problems themselves, because they are not trained for it. Next order of business. Oh, yes, of course. It is to finally introduce our information broker. Seeker, can you come here? A man with short, blackish purple hair, black suit and tie, and a black medical mask comes down the stairs and joins the group. You can see his eyes move into a smile as he takes a short bow. A pleasure to meet all of you officially. I've been doing work behind the scenes, gathering information, and will be here to help you all as much as I possibly can.
You're that guy!
Yes, I do believe we met briefly before. I don't think I ever got your name, but at the moment, that isn't too terribly important. And Candace speaks up and says, yes, we had a discussion the other night. I believe that was the same night that Seeker saw you and M. Ash. However,
Yeah.
he will be on call during hunts from now on, and we will be working a little bit more closely with him. If you absolutely need some extra help and extra information during a hunt, you can feel free to contact him. However, it will cost us some supplies to sort of make this arrangement work. So just keep in mind that the more you use him, the more it is going to sort of cost. So use it sparingly, but it is a last resort if you absolutely must. Any questions thus far? No?
None at all.
Are we
Excellent.
sneaking around at night?
I simply end up doing most of my business during the night. The only reason I can really give.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Next on the list is Ellie with some of the components you all brought back last month from your hunts. Ellie here wanted to leave it up to the group for what she started on first. Ellie speaks up. Yeah. Okay. So basically, for major research like this, it's gonna take about a month to get done alone. With a little help, I'll be able to handle more than one project at a time. I believe this was briefly discussed before, but I figured I'd lay it all on you again. Projects will also take a little bit of extra funding, however. Once the deed is done, everyone will have access to the gear for future hunts. So make sure that when you're hunting, you bring back a little something another to make gear out of. Some monsters might even have multiple usable parts. If you can snag them off of them, all depends on what you find. And we'll discuss, this is Candace again. We'll discuss what projects you'll want started after we cover the most important order of business, or orders of business, downtime activities, and mission time signups. And she finishes writing on the chalkboard, and sort of the same charts that were on there last time are up there, and we can sort of talk and decide what everybody wants to do for their downtime activities this time. If you want to leave it the same as last time, you can. But you can also update it on the downtime chart now. I've sort of already... I've got all the stuff processed for what happened last time. So you can sign up for new stuff for this week. And then let me also start clearing the mission board for last time. I've discussed this with a few people before, but not like everybody, so I'll say this again now. We're doing hunts a little bit different this time, where there's not going to be like a mission name or like brief description of each. It will simply be like hunt 1, hunt 2, hunt 3, and you will learn of the monster, whatever it may be, during your briefing. And if we end up liking this, then we will continue doing it this way. If it ends up not being a very preferred thing, then we will jump back to the other way of doing it. But for now, we will be doing it this way. Any sort of questions?
Where is the downtime activities chart again?
Downtime activities chart is in... like the list of activities that you can do, or...
Or is it like where you can choose to do?
Oh, it's in player info. Oh, wait, hold on. It's in the campaign document. If you're at the top of the document, you should be able to just go straight to it from the table of context. Table of contents. And I actually updated the help out as well.
Sorry. Like, where do you assign yourself to?
Oh, that's just in the player info in the Lacrimosa mission and character sheet stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure is a lot of honed skills.
until I see a reason to gather materials. I feel like hone skills is the best option.
Yeah. Since Ash was unstable last hunt, should I take the rest option? Or
No, rest is pretty much like forced upon you.
okay.
Unless there's somebody to support you working in the medical bay, which there was.
Okay.
It essentially switches your downtime activity mid thing. So if you get injured and there's nobody to support you and you take something like hone general skills, then you're not able to get the XP from it at the end of the month. That's sort of how it works. As an example.
Yeah.
So you were fine because James was helping in the medical bay. So
Okay. Just double checking.
Just to clarify with that there, it says help 2 injured players. Does that mean 2 unstable people? Because I'm guessing they can still do their tasks as long as they aren't unstable.
yes,
Okay.
as soon as you get put into unstable, that is when you would be considered like an injured player. Yeah.
Okay. So I can help up to 2 injured people, but there was only 1 person that was unstable.
Or 2.
There were 2. There was
There were
Wallace
2?
and
Okay.
there was Ash.
Ash.
And you were able to
Okay.
help both of them. So
I might just help out in the medical bay then. You know, if Hunt 1 had 2 unstable people, there might be more.
what are you talking about? Y'all know how to play better now, so there will be less, right?
It's true.
Imagine
I
getting
mean,
unstable.
it depends.
I'm definitely not throwing the first 3-star hunt in this rotation of missions.
Oh, also, can I, if we did hone general skills, can we mark the experience now?
Yes, you can. Unless I, of course, had already had you done it. Like, I'm pretty sure I had Ash already do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it the first of the month then?
Yes, this is like right at the start of the month, like in canon. So.
Right there, I changed it.
And with the hunt groups, you guys can just sort of sign up with what groups you want to be in, and we will go from there.
Is there 4-star?
Devin,
What?
That's a 4-star.
did you wipe out the mission archive instead of the mission board?
Possibly.
Yeah, he did.
Let me fix that. It's okay.
I was wondering.
Control Z is one hell of a drug.
Wow, it's just all back.
Let me fix that real quick quack. Cool. Thank you for calling me out on that.
Wait, you're calling out the 4-star but not the 5-star?
There is not a... So those are just... That is...
Filters.
that is essentially...
That just shows what the difficulties mean. That's a whole separate table.
Yeah.
Showing the difficulties with the reward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I delete the names and the times right now?
Yeah, that's it. I was... Yeah. Cool.
I'm assuming they will all be max 4 players. Pretty
Yes.
much for the entirety of this. So.
That might change, so I'm leaving that column there. But yeah, all of these are... The only time that will change is if there is like a specific mission. Like I might have some smaller stuff if there's some anomaly investigations, which is like bigger picture stuff, but won't require as much of a group. So
To clarify something, last month Z took help with research, so that's an additional project. Does that mean what does that mean exactly?
so
We haven't decided on the research projects yet, but that means 2 of them could get done.
Well, the biggest thing is, and by the time I realized that you had that on there, it was like a little late, but it doesn't really do much. So it didn't really do much because there was no projects to research in the first month. There was nothing. There was nothing really to research in the first month. But
Can it just be auto applied to the second month since it was there?
Rather than that, I'm just going to have it transfer to like hone general skills or something instead, so you get something.
Okay, I guess
just
I'm getting 2 EXP. I'm just kidding.
yeah. Well, why would you get 2 EXP?
It's just
Because
one.
I was gonna do hone general skills because I was 1 EXP off of an improvement.
Well,
So I'll just make it not that and make it something
Well, you
else.
don't get
this
that
month.
till the end of the month anyway.
yeah, you don't get it until the end of the month. So,
Yeah.
So you only get 1 EX.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
What's more in character for Ash? Teaching herself not to blow things up, or to
but since there is 2 things this month for that could be researched, if you guys wanted to, and those are in the middle tower stats part of it. There's the imp corpse and the spore samples. Both can be researched currently. So
Z will go ahead and go with that again.
Okay, so you're gonna help out there.
Mhm.
Cool.
Research is not my forte.
does not want to see that tiny bastard again.
I would prefer staying away from anything involving the word research.
Understandable.
Like to stay away from anything involving the word help, because that'll end poorly. Just because of the way Ash is.
And since you guys are the group that's here, you guys can make the decision. Do you guys want to research both things? Of course, at the cost of the supply listed, which is beep, boop, boop, I think like 40 total.
Yeah, 40.
Yeah.
I'd say let's research both.
I mean, we have a lot of extra supply right now. We can,
I say we splurge a little bit, just like...
We
Not a
do
bad
have
idea.
a lot of supplies at the moment.
Did anybody have a downtime that gave us extra supply last?
No, nobody took one.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind.
Listen, we brought
Cool,
back
cool,
the entire monster for you. Please research that. That little gremlin.
Yeah, lucky you guys. You weren't fighting an incorporeal being you couldn't bring back the whole. It's just gone.
And somehow you
close.
walked off a piece.
Research through memory.
Yeah, well, that piece is not really a thing anymore, so.
Plasm.
That is unfortunate.
Also,
I will add
Um,
these over here.
how much mana crystals do we have?
Currently a whopping 0.
I don't know what they're used for, so.
Yeah.
Mana crystals will be used for a lot of the gear that you guys would take. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to gather some now. So when you guys get gear, I will also give you guys some to start. But essentially it will, a lot of the gear that you guys will be getting from monster parts will use them to make the gear work. So,
I see.
and gear will do
XCOM.
a lot of different things. Yeah. Kind of like how there's all the different armors and different ammo types and stuff in XCOM. That's sort of going to be how this stuff works too. Along with bigger, like, general upgrades that apply to everybody.
Would I use my downtime with Candace to put my level up into motion?
Yeah, sure. We can totally do that. I would love to RP that.
Also used my downtime from last month to RP my
Yeah.
level up.
Yeah, you can
I'll-
use your downtime from last month or this month or whatever. I would also like to run a brief segment with you and James sort of working together in the medical bay. Since unless Frost changed his thing for this month.
I currently haven't changed.
Okay,
Fine.
cool.
Just double checking.
What's
There's
that?
somebody else in the medical bay too besides us, or no?
I mean, it would be you guys and Ash would probably still be frequenting it. That's probably how we'd run that, and then of course, like, Jackie is always in and out of there too, since he works there.
I was more meaning, is there an NPC there that's like,
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah,
an
Jackie.
actual
Dr. Hyde.
doctor, right?
Yeah, Jackie.
Okay, just double checking that they're there.
Yeah.
Also,
Mr. Jackal and Dr. Hyde.
how many people did honing general skills last month?
I
Me.
only
Well, now I did.
2.
Oh, hell
So-
yeah.
So I
So,
guess 3 total
sure.
with that.
It was me, and Lil. That's the one too I remember.
No, Enlil was combat skills, which give bonuses to tough. It's not EXP. Steel and Ash and I guess Red were all set as that. Then it turns out that Z was also doing it as well, so 4.
I mean,
I guess that's not so bad for the first month though, because there were a lot of things we couldn't do. Like we couldn't help out with extra projects. We didn't have to worry about it so much of the extra supply and such. So
It's mean for like
Yeah.
RP stuff.
The Z no longer have the 3 harm. Just
Everybody should be healed.
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yay.
Take out all of this.
Not that you guys should be really taking harm in this session, but yeah, definitely by your next hunt you will be fully healed. You can just mark off all that harm. So.
No, I tripped down the stairs. I took an extra harm. Oh no. I reopened my wounds.
Cool. Everybody sort of got an idea for. Everybody got their stuff filled in and everything.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yes, but
Main.
God, it's just, let me go not first.
Okay, yeah, I still need a little bit of time to think about yours as well, so yours is man.
yeah.
Cool. So let's eeny meeny miny Red. Do you feel good to do your stuff?
Sure.
Cool. Let's do this similar to how we did it last time, so everybody can still hang and chat and stuff if you guys want to. We'll have everybody who's not going to be in the RP down in waiting room, and then we will drag people up as needed. So we'll start with Red, and then did you want to do anything with other people who are also honing general skills?
Not really.
Okay.
I never really thought of anything.
Okay.
Only if I would want something to do with me.
Cool. We can go over that when we get there then. Just as you guys are down there, think about stuff that you'd want to do, and then we will just keep doing them until we either run out or run out of time. So. Alone at last. Okay.
No.
Red dies. The end. Cool. So, You said you already had an idea for how you wanted
Yes.
to paint this, so
Yes.
set us up.
So, basically, in the downtime between hunts, I realized that practically all of my party members had some way to like physically damage the enemy,
Mm-hmm.
whereas all I was basically doing was just conjuring up spells. And so, while I was honing my general skills, what I was primarily focusing on was striking. I can, what my character can do is uh, drain someone's spiritual essence with her hand,
Mm-hmm.
but she has to grip them tightly to do it. So she spent that month learning on how to use both better, better martial arts, and using her magic to help augment her hands in
Mm-hmm.
order to strike at people more efficiently and to get that grip.
Okay, that makes sense.
It could be like
Um,
a couple other stuff, but yeah.
what did you um what did you actually take? What was the improvement that you take? That you took?
Unholy strength,
Um, excellent.
which lets me roll plus weird instead of plus tough for kicking ass.
Sick. Cool. I think that fits just mega well with your character. Base life drained when harm. Yeah, super sick. Okay. I am excited to see how you end up using that in the next hunt. Now that you actually have a real way to do active combat. Since before you had a -1 tough, so you couldn't really roll kick some ass.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, cool. I don't think, I think that pretty much covers it. So we
Neat.
can hop on to somebody else if you want to grab somebody else who has something.
Yeah. The only thing I would think is like talking to Jackie, but that should be after for like next downtime activity.
I mean, yeah, we can also run that, since the idea of it is that we should be running. I guess it doesn't really matter either way, but if you want to run the RP with Jackie, then we can do that real quick. I'd be fine with that.
Sure. Since I am just about to like help out at the medical bay for the first time.
Mm-hmm. Cool. We will do that then. Let's. Yeah, we can. Okay. I thought about how I wanted this. So, to set the scene, you walk into the medical bay for your first, like, on duty downtime activity. And you see Jackie sitting in the chair he's normally sitting in, next to, like, the counter, and sorting through a few papers and just sort of tidying up the place. And he hears you come in, he looks up and goes, "Oh, Red, was it?
Yes.
I saw that you were supposed to be helping me out this month. Do you have any sort of medical experience at all?"
I definitely know how to keep someone alive when they shouldn't be.
Okay.
I have some concerns myself.
Well, lay them on me. I'd like to know them.
I really want to help people here, but I mean, I'm a monster. I'm going, like, there sometimes I might just, my hands are just so used to killing, if that makes any sense. I don't quite know how to heal properly.
But didn't you just say you knew how to heal?
Well, it's not necessarily healing, more stabilizing.
Is this,
I have
pardon if I'm being rude, but is this something you would do with your prey or something?
Yes.
Alrighty, I guess that makes sense. Well, let's see if we can use that for any sort of good. I will be around most of the time that you are going to be around patients, even more so if you are worried about anything instinctual happening, and I can guarantee you that I'm at least tough enough to put you down, and if not, I have a nice little taser here that should do the job. But I'm not really worried about that. I heard that you helped out a few people who were in need last hunt and got them cleanly to the hospital and without eating them, so I'm sure you can do that with any of your compatriots that would be coming in here.
Does make sense. I mean, but it's like, it's an entirely different thing though, because out there, that's in the public eye, like plenty of people around me. It's just the times of isolation that really worries me, is all. But if you're gonna be there, then I think it'll all be fine.
I will keep you company as best I can, and if you ever feel uncomfortable, if I have to go and do something, then I will make sure that there is either someone else with you here or, well,
I chuckle a bit. Well, doctor, you don't necessarily have to worry too much about isolation. There's always somebody nearby.
Is there?
His smile.
He sort of squints, not quite getting it, and just sort of shakes his head and is like, all right, here, come help me out and we can get started. And he starts taking out some of the medical supplies that are in the counter and starts sorting through them and just organizing, cleaning, just getting things ready for the next person to sort of come in. Cool. Unless you want to run something with James, who looks like is still helping out in the medical bay, we can grab him and we can run a little bit of RP with him.
I think that's alright.
Okay.
Alright, thank you.
Of course.
You want me to go grab him?
Yeah, acquire the next subject.
Okay.
The next subject to grace my presence. Wondering who it will be. God, I'm not ready for early. Hello.
I've been summoned.
You've been summoned?
I didn't particularly have anything, but I knew with how many people were in the med bay, that somebody might try to talk to me. So
It sounded like Ash definitely wanted to run something. So, can you snag?
I mean, I think it might be probably a good one to just maybe have a short talk with Jackie, since I'm spending so much time in the medical bay. Just kind of a small little thing about that, maybe.
That's very understandable. So let's do this. The one kid that was brought back from your guys' hunt and was actually being treated at Middle Tower. This is going to take, this conversation is going to take place probably a night or two after your guys' hunt happened, and you guys you are currently helping tend to him. And I would say this is probably later in the night.
I did say that I was going to try and stick close with that kid to make sure they actually made it. So.
Cool.
Sure.
So to set the scene, both you and Jackie are in the medical bay, and he is sitting at his chair next to the counter and prepping materials for the next doses of medicine and magic practice that you guys are going to have to do on this kid. You discovered that he had, because he was he was like trapped in that stasis for as long as he was, he actually developed some form of curse while he was in there. So it is a good call that you guys kept him for extra treatment. And you guys are currently trying to sort of solve that issue. And I would say that you are currently tending directly to the kid right now. All right. Well, next things next, we should need to give him these here, and Jackie carries over 3 small vials of various liquids. They're hard to identify, but you can assume they are some form of medical mixture.
All right, doctor. Spread out throughout the night, or all immediately, or?
This one now, and he hands you over a green vial, and then he takes the other 2, which are corked, and just sort of sets them on the nightstand next to the bed. It's like, the pink one here in about 5 minutes, and the blue one shortly after that. This is to both treat the wounds. Oh yes, make sure the pink one you just pour directly into those scratch marks. We are trying to eliminate any presence of the curse that took place, which is stopping him from fully recovering. So we are going to want to fix those lacerations.
This curse seems worse than any I've seen. It's really resilient, it seems.
Yes.
Are you sure this will work?
Well, it should, and if it doesn't, then we will try something else. Nothing that we're using should have any negative side effects. I have a list of his medical records here, and he doesn't seem to be allergic to anything that I'm using, as far as I know, but, well, the best thing we can do is try.
All right. Begin ensuring that the green liquid is administered correctly.
Yes, excellent. Excellent. Okay.
And the others that have been in and out of the bay, any of them, have you noticed anything too terrible? I've treated as much as I can, but I'm not a doctor like you, so.
Well, Wallace is well enough now that he doesn't have to stay here. I'm just having him come in for regular checkups for the rest of the month. But the others, of course, were treated fairly quickly. I worry.
Oh?
I worry about if this is what the guild would consider a 2-star mission to take on. I worry about what's going to happen when you all are all fighting things that are stronger. I think with every group so far that has came in, I have given them a short lecture, as long as treated their wounds, about being safer, but I'm sure they're being as safe as they possibly can. I worry.
I agree. I mean, if this is what a 2-star looks like, I don't know if I want to see a 3 or even how high the stars go, honestly.
I worry that 2-star things are going to start turning into 3s and then 4s and then 5s. I worry for the town, and I don't know what's happening, and I wish there was a good way for us to just nip this off at the bud.
Well, that's why they've brought many of us here. To help figure out why this has happened. Not just deal with the monsters, but figure out why it's happened.
I guess that's true, and I guess it's only been a month. There's no real leads as of yet, unfortunately. But all in due time, I guess, and well, I hope that you can all find something.
Yeah. And in the meantime, more will keep showing up to this little room. Hopefully not as much, though.
Hopefully, I'm hoping for this next month to go a little bit smoother now that you guys are accustomed to things. Who knows what will happen, though? I may be seeing more people in here regularly, and, well, I hope for it to not happen, but I will assuredly do the best that I can. Hopefully, at some point, I can get some form of upgrade of sorts on all of this gear, and, well, maybe make things a little bit easier for you.
Do you have more specific things in mind? I can try and put in a good word with the sisters.
Just some stuff that's a little bit more up to date. I know Candace came in when she gave her initial spiel and said everything is tip-top shape here, but some of this gear has seen better days, and he pulls out like a Manitek device that you don't quite recognize, but it is the equivalent of sort of a defibrillator. Man, I can't say that word. And he just shows it to you, and you can see the like signs of wear and tear on it, and it's it'll do the job, but it's not perfect by any means. And taking a closer look at a lot of the stuff around the place, it's got that same feel to it, where it's functional, but starting to show signs of wear and tear. Most of this was hand-me-downs from the guild, of course. Just starting this, we only had some early funding and so on and so forth, so we didn't have much to go off of, but I feel like we did a decent job with what we could do.
Of course.
Well, I am going to leave you to administer those flasks, and I will be back in.
Of course.
Yes, I will be back shortly. Just do as I mentioned before, and you should be fine. I have a few errands to run.
It's probably been about 5 minutes by now, and I'll go to reach to pick up the pink one. Of course. Have a good day, Doctor.
Yes, of course, and I will be back in a little bit, but I just have a few errands I have to take care of, and he walks out. Well,
yeah, that's good. That was kind of what I was aiming for.
excellent.
I feel like if I help out in the med bay, I would at least have one talk with the doctor a month. So
I imagine you had a few of them, but I imagine that one was as down to earth as Jackie would have gotten with you.
I'm sure I'll have another one RP'd next month as well. I've got an idea. So
Excellent. All right.
would you like me to grab somebody else?
Yes, grab the next contestant or contestants, whoever
Do you have
wants
a
to do stuff.
particular one in mind, as long as it's not Mr. Sun, it sounds like?
I mean, there's a few. I still want to do more of the sessions with Mr. Sun and other people, since there's a few people who haven't gotten the chance to do it.
Yeah, you just said you wanted to wait till last because you were trying to figure some stuff out was all.
The big one that I want to wait till last is Mr. Sun's improvement. Oh, speaking of improvements, did you get an improvement?
I did. I just barely got an improvement. I ended up going for a +1 into sharp. I felt that a lot of the moves that I was going for, and all of that kind of stuff, really lended itself toward trying to investigate a little bit better. I feel like that was a little bit of a weak point for me, and I definitely tried to stress doing more of that. So, and also working in a medical facility, not exactly a dumb person's game. I feel like I would have learned at least a little bit about a lot of different things spending a month in there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I don't feel like there's much extra RP we have to do for that improvement, so cool.
Huzzah.
Snag some peeps, and thank you.
All right. I'll see you later. Goodbye.
Who do we have next on the list? I'm excited to see who pops up here. I would love to see more Mr. Sun and other people's sessions. I would love to see more duo sessions. Tend to get a little bit more out of them. My brain's a little fried right now. We will see, however. Man, I'm having to jump down there and snag somebody myself.
Hello.
Hello, 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 hello. Hi.
Hello.
We've made a decision.
I I see.
As God.
Look at us. We are the captain now.
We're the keeper now.
All right. What are phones called in your universe? Are they just cell phones? Can I just call them cell phones?
Mana phones.
Mana phones?
Mana phones.
All
Eye
right.
mana.
Ring, 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 mana
It's
phone.
my eye mana.
My eye mana. I like
Ju-
that.
Just to
We got
confirm,
mana soft. We got eye mana. Let's go.
Mana soft.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay.
all right. So I have the confirmation from you that everything in there was good, and obviously any changes that need to be made will be totally accepted 100% and implemented immediately. But I have this all written out, so I'm just gonna start reading. Because I'm a psychopath and I hate myself.
Wait.
No,
what-
not that. I'm not gonna read all that. That's way too much. I just
Pardon?
I wrote character descriptions for them, and I have like a little intro. that I'm gonna start right now.
Oh. Okay. Excellent. Cool. You know what? Take it away.
All right, perfect. So everybody gets a notification on their mana phone that there's going to be a meeting held over in the conference room at Middle Tower. And with everyone gathered in the meeting room, soon enters Mr. Sun, carrying with him a black box with pink stripes upon it. Soon after entering, he sets it down on the table before putting a hand upon its top. Good morning, everyone. Today I come with important news, and while it may not seem good to many of you at first, I promise in the end you'll see my motives are for the benefit of all. Patting the ominous box with his free hand, he then reaches down and slowly begins to pull the top off, revealing the contents inside. The sweet scent of donuts inside quickly fill the room, and the box is then slid to the center of the table. Mr. Sun, all the while unaware of the fact that he may have unintentionally debated everybody in this conference call. Please welcome my team to the Middle Tower, the Milky Way division. And with that, 4 individuals dressed similarly to Mr. Sun enter the room. These individuals, or agents, will be helping many of us here at Middle Tower to keep operations run more smoothly. Most of the time, they'll stay here to assist in downtime activities, or keep the workloads as light as possible, though on rare occasion they can be called upon on the field. Any questions are welcome now. And with that, Mr. Sun reaches out, takes one of the donuts from the box, and takes a hearty bite. If you
Are
would
you
like,
sure those donuts aren't poisoned?
he's eating one, so maybe
Okay, but
not
are you sure
that
the
one.
rest aren't poisoned?
The designated donuts.
There's only one way to be sure, and it's an assorted box. So
Yeah,
take your
it
pick.
was the only glazed one. That's how you know it's not poisoned.
Yeah.
There a
Ah,
maple bar?
Fucker.
I'm gonna
Sure. Hell yeah.
Z
grab a chocolate
quietly.
donut, just like chill with my back on the wall.
And if you would like, I can do a description of everybody that just walked in.
Roll my eyes a
Um,
little.
You know what? Yep, this
No.
is your thing. Go for it. This is
Okay.
your. Actually, real quick to
You can
describe.
read it if you want.
I was just going to say real quick to describe the thing that Early took to the audience, the improvement. It is. Where is it? Get command of an agency team of monster hunters. So essentially, Mr. Sun gets a group of NPCs to assist. So he just added 4 more characters to the game for me to RP as.
Haha.
All in one level. Do you want to name off these or give
Twitch.
I'm ready for the planet names.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah, hit me with your 4 new agents and give them all some introductions.
So, when he says the name, I'll just say that's Mr. Sun gesturing at them and saying their name. So, first we have the tech researcher, Miss Antares, who is a messy haired young woman, barely over 5 feet tall, looking around with wonder as she joined Mr. Sun's team in Middle Tower. With her fitted suit slightly disheveled, likely put on in a rush, she stands carrying a hodgepodge of books and notes in her arms, clearly a studious individual based on her possessions. Next, we have the combat specialist, Miss Vega. Standing tall and sturdy, Miss Vega is the only member of the group not wearing the full fitted suit, as she is missing the blazer. With her dress shirt unbuttoned 2 buttons down and the red tie loosely secured, it is clear from her muscular build this is the closest they'll get to having her meet the dress code. Unlike Mr. Sun, this battle-scarred individual looks mean instead of indifferent and has a militant glare on her face. Next, we have the Manitek medic doctor, or Mr. Aldebaran, a lanky man with a long brown ponytail and a lax expression on his face. Wearing the fitted suit well, he is the only member not wearing gloves, however. Seeming rather distant, almost spacing out, Mr. Aldebaran gives off an almost beach bro surfer vibe with his general appearance and demeanor, as well as the way he talks once the doctor begins to speak. And lastly, we have the weird biologist, Dr. or Miss Ganan. The youngest member of the team by far, this girl is pristine in her appearance and dress code, and it's obvious to tell from her nervous expression and sweat on her brow that she is scared out of her mind with the current situation. Yet a certain excitement burns behind her strong stare, even if her entire body trembles now and then. And done.
New members.
Yeah, join the club.
Yeah. I don't know how to feel about this.
This is taking place at Middle Tower, correct?
Correct.
Yes, as I would assume.
Z.
And Candace sort of steps out and mentions this was all okayed by us and is an extension of help from early from early Lama from
Early.
my brain's a little fried. I
Mr. Sun,
apologize. This is an extension of Mr. Sun's agency, and they will all be assisting us in our efforts. They will be helping out each one of us staff members here at Middle Tower, and Miss Vega there will be able to be called in sort of during a few hunts for some assisted manpower. Treat them as you would anybody else here. I don't feel like I really need to say that, but I thought I would. Yes. And you can see Candace is a little bit nervous, but she is trying her best to just smile as per usual and invite the new members.
Will they
Perfect.
be joining us on hunts?
As rarely as possible. Mainly, I would like them to remain here at Middle Tower to help with areas of their specialty. So, for example, oh god, I lost track of myself. For example, Miss Antares is a researcher, so as far as monster studies, she'll be the most helpful there. I should probably have this open. People of Middle Tower, hello. So she'll be very helpful with Sarah or even Ellie. Likewise, it'll probably be best to have Miss Ganon helping Ellie, seeing as she's a weird biologist, and Ellie is in the process of making horrible creations out of monster parts for the most part. We have a doctor on board to help in the infirmary. That'll be Mr. Aldebaran. And Miss Vega is definitely the one that we'll call on if we ever need some extra guns on the field, though she'll also be helpful if people need help training their strength on any given moment. And
as reactions to some of those things, when you mention Ellie making some of her experiments, she just sort of sits there and smiles, just a wide shit-eating grin as she leans back in her chair. And as soon as you mention somebody helping Jackie from this agency, his already sort of stoic and grim face just turns even darker. He does not seem very happy about the situation.
wow, he's gonna love working with the surf bro.
Oh God.
Ash just kind of looks out of the corner of her eye with her yellow eye, like at Candace, like, what the fuck made you agree to this?
Money.
Nice little
I
buddy
was
here,
not
Mr.
expecting to have this conversation yet, and me and Mr. Sun get to have the prequel conversation to this here shortly.
Uh-oh.
We should have left that.
That might have been some good planning. So far, all we did was confirm that this would be my level, and not much else.
We will run that after this.
Okay, I'm free.
Z has taken a donut and is munching through it, mostly staring at the table. As the people came in, they gave him a once over, and then continued to stare at the table. They raise an eyebrow at the announcement that they would be helping out inside the guild, but that's about as much response as been garnered from Z.
Ash slides over the entire box of donuts to our side of the table.
Oh no,
Z silently gives you a thumbs up.
these gremlins shouldn't have sugar this early.
And you shouldn't have power this early, I mean.
Well,
You gonna step up, Chief?
with that, again, I hope you all get along, and hopefully they will be of great help in your guys' next hunts. And you can now sort of continue to go about your day as you wish. Thank you all for coming on such short notice.
Perfect. Well, I'm gonna give them a similar tour that you gave us, Candace, and we will be in touch shortly, I imagine. And with that, he'll leave with his team, or the new additions to the team. The tower.
Candace sort of, as you guys go up the stairs, Candace just sort of hangs her head slightly and sighs. It's just overwhelmed.
You good there, Candace?
Yeah, I'm fine. This is fine.
Are you sure about that there? Cause
You'll get used to it.
Candace takes a look
Okay.
over to Red and smiles and sort of nods, understanding at least slightly what's going on. And just
Well, if nobody else is gonna eat these are mine now.
As long as you don't
Simply
waste
wants
food.
to
Slide the donut out of sight.
Ow.
simply want to slink away with one maple bar.
Take maple bar. The rest are mine.
Excellent.
All right, just no eating them after midnight, please.
I'm an 18-year-old college student.
I feel like that
Sir.
reference might be a little too old.
Yes. Out of character. I am a 20-year-old college student. You think I know anything?
Oh no!
For reference, the movie you're referencing came out in 1984, so I think it's probably too old for most of these people in real life to understand what that means.
That's
so-
true. I mean, that's too old for me too.
Ah, shit, I really am old.
Man.
Got him.
Legends say once you reach past the age of 25, your organs wither away.
Yes.
While we have everybody here, since we just went over that level up, does anybody else want to RP through their improvement stuff? Because I know that we haven't done anything for Z, Ash, and I know Ash got at least one. Or
mean-
Enlil.
I sent you a few questions. They're kind of like yes or no questions.
I'm DMing this whole time.
I
I'm not
know,
gonna see him
but,
all the
like,
time.
There were things I didn't know leveling up until this session.
I literally told you guys last time at the end of your session.
No. Okay, I didn't. So since you
Oh, that's
switched it,
true.
you switched my thing to general skills. I didn't have enough for a level up until you switched it to general skills. So I did not learn until this session.
That's kind of.
Well, you already sort of had something in mind because you had already messaged me something, but then you just changed your mind about what you wanted it to be. Either
Because
way,
I thought I was gonna have to RP through it during
It's
a
like a
session.
gender. You don't have to like have 14 paragraphs on it yet. It's all good.
I have an idea for mine.
Okay, cool. We can run Ashes then. It is up to you guys. If you guys want to sort of stay here or be in waiting room or not, whatever makes things sort of run smoother right now.
I already did mine, so I'm gonna go to waiting room.
Okay.
I did mine
Cool.
too. Can't wait unless I'm called.
Okay.
I just need to know if it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. Good. All right. I'll mark that.
Cool. So the improvement that I took was a +1 to my weird.
Okay.
A very simple improvement. But like I was imagining the way that this would kind of go about improving the weird was a mix of toning general skills, but also the repercussions of that last hunt that she was on in Lacrimosa University. I feel like there were gonna be some repercussions for that, considering that she bully shoved somebody, owes them food, and was monster hunting on campus.
Fair. So you want to sort of do something with this on campus then?
Yeah, maybe with maybe with a teacher who got a little bit too pissed off.
Okay. So let me do something real quick. We will put this as actually I want this. We'll say this is probably like a week or two after your whole hunt happened. To say you are at least good enough to start sort of walking around on your own, especially with help from James assisting in the medical bay. Don't mind me as I pull up a name generator real quick.
Fair. I also threw down name of Dr. Stein during my session, so if you ever want to use that.
Oh, true.
I
can
came
just
up
use
with
Dr.
that like
Stein,
on
then.
the spot.
Cool,
I
perfect.
came up with that on the spot.
We can just use Dr. Stein then. That works fantastically. So after hearing about your endeavors, you got a notification while you were in the hospital that you would be doing some sort of extracurricular lessons with Dr. Stein after he heard about some of your antics on campus. And so you are pulled in about 2 weeks later after you recover, and you are currently in a classroom alone with Dr. Stein, and he is, you are sitting at a desk, and he is sitting on, like, the big professor's desk that is in front of the class, and he is sort of leaning back up against it and looking down. So,
So, how much do
Ashlyn,
you know? Yes.
I was informed by a Miss Candace Everbright of the situation, so I will let you off easier than I was going to. As you know, we are an esteemed university here with a reputation to uphold. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir. Understood.
There is word amongst the town of a certain monochrome colored hair girl with ribbons and heterochromia who
Be anybody.
blew up part of the bridge leading over to the Eastern Ward.
Hey, that one was not me. Okay, that was the little garbage goblin that I was chasing.
Okay.
Was-
Tell me the truth, Ash.
What truth?
Could it have been a situation that you could have avoided?
Well,
That
maybe?
has told me everything I needed to know.
Perhaps? I could have done a little bit better, but I
Well,
wanted to...
now that you
know
are
how...
actively monster hunting and he just cuts you off, I would like to bring you in a little bit more often for these extracurricular lessons, just to get you to control things a little bit better, especially if you are going to be doing any hunting in the city, which from the sounds of it will be most of your endeavors, according to Miss Everbright.
Yeah. I know I need the extra lessons anyway.
How much would Dr. Stein sort of know about your past? I assume this is sort of the professor that you probably get along with best, and you look to for a little bit of mentorship in a way. Like, he's probably one of the few professors that sees you and just immediately write you off, knowing some of the things that you've done by accident.
Yeah. I think he knows enough that since she was a child, she's never really been able to control it
Okay.
as much. And he knows that she's been any arson that she's been doing is not like because she wants to do it spontaneously, but because she has to.
Mm-hmm. You sort of have to get that power out of your body, is essentially.
Yeah.
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 So, Dr. Stein stands up and walks sort of around the desk a little bit and just says, well, one of the most interesting things that we have sort of learned about you in the last few years that you've been here is that you handle mana differently than a lot of other folks. While most people would gather mana from the air, from the veins, and channel them in front of them between their hands or into their foci, you instead channel that mana sort of into your body and then out. It sort of stores up, and this is why you have to release it in the way that you do. However, I have been thinking about ways that we can sort of improve this and streamline it. Let you sort of use some kind of exhaust filter to expel said mana out of you without, well, you know.
Loading. Again.
Yes, and part of that has to do with your little foci there, and he points to your glove. Is it both of your gloves, or is just one of them?
I say both.
Okay. And he sort of points back and forth between your two hands. The sort of secret to this is at first consciously releasing this energy all of the time, which sounds exhausting, I am aware. But the biggest way to sort of get used to this is going to be during these extracurricular sessions, where I will essentially be having you breathing, and constantly. By breathing, I mean constantly expelling a small amount of mana through your foci all of the time until it becomes second nature. This way you do not have such a dramatic buildup in your system, so that when you release it, it doesn't, well, again, you know. Does this make sense?
I think so. I'm definitely willing to try it.
Let's start with this. Just create heat, not fire, as you are very well attuned to doing at this point, but just heat, since it is the most natural way for your body to manipulate mana.
So, more along the lines of, like, okay, I'll try. And she'll hold out her hands and try really hard to keep, like, warmth but not fire. Sort of entropy instead.
Mm-hmm. And Dr. Stein just smiles and looks down and is like, now just remember, if you lose control, you're probably going to cause damage that I know you cannot afford. So don't.
I know.
And you sort of continuously let out this heat, and there's a few times that you like lose focus a little bit, and a flame starts to form. And Dr. Stein just creates like essentially a little spray of water and just like spurts it at you, kind of like a spray bottle.
It's like a bad cat acting up. Oh my god.
Like, come on, focus. Just a little bit. And you guys, over the course of the next bit, have these continuous sessions. And I would say at the end of this, by the time we like start to get to this next month's stuff, you haven't mastered this sort of thing. We can flavor that into a different different move of some sort if we find one, or so on and so forth. But you are definitely you definitely find a much better way to hone your magic. So rather than it getting completely out of control, it is much less likely for that to happen. And that is how we're going to flavor your +1 weird.
Yay.
So you now are quite a bit better at sort of controlling this flow of mana that is constantly just sort of absorbed into your body. Which is great.
One step closer to not blowing up an entire city.
True. Smiles?
True.
Yet?
Haha.
Perfect. If you want to jump down and snag some more people, then feel free. And we will see who else comes to bat. Bum 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 ba da dum ba dum ba ba doo 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 boo doo doo ba da doo ba doo da doo doo ba da doo ba boom ba doom ba boom 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 doo 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 ba na 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 na. Hello, Hunt.
I know not exactly what I'm doing here, but it seemed like nobody else could really decide what was going on, and it seems like everybody needs to appear in here at least once.
I figure we could go over your improvement stuff and possibly do a little bit of RP to back it up. So
I wish I could give you a lot to go on, but I don't have a lot to go on.
it is okay. That is what I'm here for. So you got what did you end up taking for your improvement?
+1 tough, max of 3.
Excellent, excellent.
It should put my tough immediately to 3.
Yeah. Cool. So I would say
No, tough, not cool.
you and Lil probably spent most of your time over at the guild then. As far as your
Where's the
downtime goes.
guild?
The guild is in the Eastern Ward. It is where a lot of the training stuff is currently happening due to Middle Tower not having its own training center right now.
Yes, I remember you talking about this now.
Yes. So you were spending some time over there, and occasionally when you go, you see a few of your other hunters. What? How much time would you say Enlil probably spends over there?
I don't know. Maybe like 2 or 3 hours every other day. Something like that.
It's pretty reasonable. You head over that way one day, your usual schedule. You wake up. It is one of those days. So, you head over to the Eastern Ward and walk in, same as usual, and start going through your routine. Which I'm assuming is just would Enlil be likely to be doing like sparring with other hunters, or since you're at least slightly known in Lacrimosa for being a hunter even before you came here, came back with James. So I would assume you know quite a few faces that are around here. Whether or not you made any close connections is another story.
I mean, if Enlil knows any, I as a player sure don't know any.
Yes, this is fine. I would say you probably know faces, but due to sort of how your character is, you probably haven't made a lot of very deep connections.
Yeah, very aloof.
Yeah. But a usual sparring partner comes up to you, and you know her name, and that is pretty much it. And it is Amber. And she runs up to you and is like, "Hey, here again for some more practice?"
Yes. Glad to see your spirits as always.
Yes, absolutely. Always a pleasure to fight with Frostholm's finest. And she is she has like a brown bob cut with two sort of orange colored eyes, and picks up her quarterstaff, and you guys head on to the sparring field.
Oh. And do I get some sort of training sword? Practice sword? Or
Yeah.
am I supposed to be using metal here? Because I think that sounds a little dangerous for training.
Yeah, you've seen her actual weapon, and it is like a glaive, but she is using
excellent.
she is using the quarterstaff to practice. You pick up your usual it's a steel wood sword. It is just heavy. It is sort of the same composition that you're used to when swinging around your own sword, and you just pick up the same one every time you come in here, because it's just sort of what you're used to.
Yeah.
And the two of you head onto the field and start just duking it out.
Rolling kicks and ass rolls.
Yeah, sure. Roll one for the flavor.
rolling for the flavor. Oh dear.
Well, we'll not have this have any actual real repercussions, and with that, no experience. But
Okay.
we'll see who wins this one.
Tough default submit +0.
You successfully manage to best her in sort of a best of 5. I would say
Once again, sweep the leg and throw her on the ground.
Mm-hmm. And after she hits the ground for the 3rd time, with your sword sort of, after she hits the ground, you sort of point it down at her and, like, step on her torso. Just a very dominant pin. And
And offer a hand to get her back up.
she takes it and smiles and is like, well, another week, another day, another loss. Well, I'm getting better, though. So, I heard you were working for an agency now.
An agency? Is that what Middle Tower calls itself?
Yeah, they work under the guild. I mean, all of the monster hunting agencies work under the guild. It's sort of I guess, umbrella scheme. I don't know the best thing to call it, but essentially the guild takes care of everyone. But important thing is, you were working as just a freelance mercenary before. What made you take up the offer?
Hard to say. I guess you could say there's someone I had my eye on.
Huh. Didn't take you to be the like, romantic type, eh? And she sort of jokingly like nudges her shoulder up to you.
But I didn't imply romance.
Oh. Well, I guess I misinterpreted the what you said. Anywho,
Was there a possibility to be interpreted that way?
it was the someone I had my eye on that it's that
I
wording.
see. My mistake.
She sort of chuckles and it's okay, Enlil. You're good. I understand. It happens. It could just be me reading into things as well. She throws her hands up in the air and shrugs and stretches. Well,
After being after winning on the floor and then losing quickly after in comfy conversation. This is the character I've created.
well, I always. Have you ever? You know what? Never mind.
Never mind.
Let's hang out sometime, like outside of practice. What do you say?
Outside of practice?
Yeah, just
What
like,
else is there to do?
just like go get some food or something, or go hang out at Timber Hill. Just hang out for a bit.
Do they have maple bar donuts there?
Amber just chuckles a little bit. Yeah, we can go get you some donuts.
Sure, I would greatly appreciate that. Name a day. Or I suppose... No, I have a lot of time on my hands.
Yeah, sure. We can just head out there. Yeah. Nice after practice snack. And it is at this point, this is fairly early in the morning. It is at this point that you actually get a call on your phone.
Is it from Mr. Sun?
Yes. And it is that announcement that he made in a previous little session.
Oh no. The continuity. The continuity. Excited for Maple Bars before that happens. Oh no. What have we done to the timeline?
It's okay. You just liked them before. Easy. Actually, now that you mention it, it is a phone call, but it is not from Mr. Sun. It is actually from Candace. And you sort of know what that usually means.
That there's a monster that needs to be hunted? Or that Mr. Sun wants to make another announcement?
Know that there is a monster to be hunted. Is that an important call?
Yes. These often are.
Alrighty, we'll schedule for some other time then. You better get going. And she sort of smiles and waves as you take off. +1 extra tough. I am excited to see how your tough rolls go next session. Hopefully they are good. They are tough.
I thank you.
Yes'm. I think I will hop down into waiting room with you and check in on any last things that people would like to do, and then I will snag early for a talk with him after everyone else is done.
Pretty sure I'm just. Oh God.
Oh,
Hello. I have come. I just wanted to come in.
Pirate NPC.
Yarg. I wanted to hop in and check with anybody else if you wanted to do anything. If anybody else wanted to do a the Mr. Sun and blank person sessions.
Well, something piqued my interest while we were chatting.
Oh.
I don't know if it's possible, but both Enlil and I were honing skills in the place, right?
It's true.
I was just wondering what a sparring session would look like.
If only we could have picked up on that faster. That is exactly what we were just doing, but it was Enlo with an NPC.
It's okay.
Maybe you could have told me, but anyway.
It's okay.
Wait,
I thought about calling you in. Thought about calling you in because you had that, but I was like, I want to make another NPC for Enlil.
That's okay.
Because that's more character development. But
well,
yeah.
there are 2 other people who hone general skills, including combat skills.
Well,
we can snag Enlil and Red for a quick sparring session essentially.
More sparring.
Oh no,
More
I don't know
sparring.
who to
More
bet
fighting.
on. I don't know who to bet on.
What?
Excellent.
I mean,
That one? Yikes. Yeah, I don't know.
W's on the floor and L's in conversation.
Just be on the sidelines, like the annoying cheer squad, just retroactively.
Cool. Yeah, cool. Yeah, we can do that.
Z would be
Let's-
pretending to read a book.
Oh, yeah.
we
Z
can
and
just sort of
Ash are
do
just-
that here.
See an Ash in the corner like, yo.
You keep like jabbing at Z or something like, and Z is just like ah.
Oh, did you see what Enlil did? Yo!
I've not seen anything of what Enlil has done, by the way. So
It's true. This is going to be a blind experience for you. So,
For both of us.
Also true. We start the scene with both of you heading in. I've just established with Enlil that she, like, about 3 days a week heads in and practices early in the morning, so it would probably be happenstance that the two of you end up around there at the same time. And who walks up to the other first? I would say it would probably be more likely for Red, knowing just how Enlil is.
Enlil is the strong silent type, that is sure.
The word I keep using these days is aloof.
Aloof.
Yeah.
Goof.
Z would practice late.
Dictionary. Aloof.
I would imagine the most likely situation would be both of us solitary practicing for a while. And then at one point, I look over and notice that she's still doing it while I'm still working up I've already worked up a sweat. And she is still, like, not even phased at all with doing her training. Would that sound about right?
Likely so.
Yeah.
Enlil has a very high tough score.
You're like, wow. How do you do that? Mind giving me a little demonstration?
Demonstration of what exactly? Form or strength?
How about a little both? Let's make it a little interesting, if you will.
Are you challenging me to a sparring match?
Smile, like, creeps up to my lips. You're like, yes. I've heard some pretty cool things about you. I want to see just how true they are.
You're one of the other hunters in the middle tower, right?
Yeah. Some could say that.
And this would be an excellent opportunity for both of us. Would you prefer weapons or hand-to-hand?
Well, you can do either or. I only ever fight with my hands.
I suppose hand-to-hand would work just fine.
Are you sure about that? There's a little something extra to mine.
What?
Well, you can see as soon as you can see if you'd like.
Is this where we begin our roles?
Yeah, sure. Man, player versus player stuff is a little wild on Monster of the Week, but it essentially who would want to like take a shot first.
Well, I'm the challenger. I would assume I would go first.
All right. Is this before or after you got your improvement?
Definitely after. Definitely after.
Okay. So roll me a plus weird.
All right.
14?
What the?
That is a success.
All right.
So Red successfully manages to land a blow on Enlil. Do you want to sort of describe how this ends up looking?
So I rush forward to get into hand range, and then I hit with my left. But as she is dodging away from my left, I feint it and then grab her with my. I grab her right arm with my right hand, or left arm with my right hand, and squeeze it, and drains essence out of her.
No.
What?
So before you are able to before you quite do that, Enlil does manage to land a blow on you. So just to sort of translate it, you would have taken one harm and then life drained one harm back.
And then I'll take +1 forward. Take the advantage. I think that's how it works.
Yep.
So, and then she breaks free from my grip. So I have like a little glowy orb of essence with me. And then it enters me and my wounds close up.
That is new. Is this when I take my roll?
Yep. Roll plus stealth.
Oh my god, you're both
Full
so
success.
good.
Wow.
You said you were doing hand to hand?
Yeah.
All right. What extra thing do you want to take, and how does this look?
What extra? Oh, right, I have to open this up.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I can only imagine. Inflict terrible harm.
Is that the goof?
I just imagine the slide in, left hand grab, right wrist, back at her, and just from my left shoulder slide like a chopping hand down my arm, up her arm, and up to the neck.
Dang.
That is 2 harm done to
Only two?
I mean, are you doing hand to hand?
Yes, this is hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah,
And
okay.
my hand-to-hand is specially strong.
Oh, right.
And she chose inflict terrible harm also.
That would be 3.
Yeah, I would say you pretty much put red on her ass, like, with that hit. Since for sparring, I figure going to 3 harm is
Yeah, we're
pretty
not gonna go
reasonable. Yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah,
put
like-
red clean on her ass with that.
So she would have 2 harm and I'd have 3 harm.
I forgot you had stuff for that.
Yeah.
So your wounds close, but only if you're able to actually hit back.
Dang, you hit hard.
You'll make a
God.
very strong ally.
No wonder. No wonder I've heard all that stuff about you. Still got a couple of tricks myself I didn't show, though. That's alright. I'm sure you
I
do,
know.
too.
I imagine the rumors are bigger than who I am.
I'd say that ends training.
Might I offer a hand
I
to
need-
to help her up? Please take the hand.
Yes.
Thank you.
But then, do I want to do it right now?
What?
Hang on.
You're not gonna like take her hand and fucking life drain her, right? That'd be a
I'm not
dick
going
move.
to, but you know what? Just for you. Just for you. I gaze directly into her eyes and exert my will over her.
What?
So I have to roll charm.
What?
And what happens exactly?
That is
I
a 10
can
plus
post
hold
it.
3, I guess.
You may spend your hold to give them an order.
It,
Hunters can...
and
Yeah, hang on. I'll post it.
shoes. There we go.
So I order you to punch yourself, kneel down, and claim that I'm the victor. Those are my 3.
Wait,
You can.
3 separate orders?
Yeah, since it's a
Because-
full success. But since you're a hunter, you're another hunter, you can simply just choose to not
You
do
can
it.
just choose not to.
Also, I'm not going
Hold
to
on.
have you take experience for actually doing
Yeah,
them.
it's
So
like RP thing.
yeah.
So what were the 3 orders?
Punch yourself, and then kneel down and claim me the victor.
It feels so weird because it says I have the choice to follow or not. I just feel like Enla would kneel down and say I feel tired.
Hmm. How interesting. I've never seen someone disobey like that before.
Disobey?
Nothing. You're fine.
Hmm.
And then I bring my hand to pick you up instead.
Enla takes it.
No more tricks.
How many tricks were there?
That's for you to find out.
I hope I'll be seeing more of you soon.
Perhaps. But I definitely need a break. Oh my god, you freaking punched the shit out of me. You know how hard you hit?
Yeah, I'm quite aware.
Oh my god. Dr. Hyde's not here, like nearby too, right? Oh my.
No, but there is medical staff like at the guild, so
You know, like when you're like super sore after like doing a bunch of pull-ups or sit-ups or anything like that. When you laugh, like everything hurts.
mm-hmm.
I'm feeling like that right now.
Cool.
God, I don't want to feel that again.
She heals off that 3 harm before her first hunt this month.
Yes, of
I
course.
assume so.
Yes, of course.
You're just walking in the med bay, and the doctor's like, "Hold on, you 1, 2, you have 4 broken ribs. What have you been doing?"
And Enla walks in with
Jeez.
small burn marks on the arm. She was with me.
Sorry, dog. It's like, just can't help it sometimes, you know? Curiosity killed the cat.
Almost.
Wrong animal, but close.
Today we learned Enlil is actually One Punch Man.
Gosh.
My hands are indeed plus 1 harm, intimate hand, messy.
Gross.
Messy.
Interesting.
Messy.
So when you punch weak things, their head explodes.
Kind of.
Okay.
Is that what messy means?
Kind of.
Messy
It-
means
What did you say your hands were again?
Says your unarmed attacks are 2 harm, intimate hand, messy.
Oh my gosh.
yeah. Messy means
gross.
like, um,
Big explosion.
not necessarily. It's more, yeah, if you punch something small, like a small minion or something, like you're gonna explode it on a wall. Like it's
Oh.
it's like each one of your punches, you know from watching Jujutsu, the way Itadori, when he like punches something and it does like the second impact.
Yeah.
That's how I would imagine your punches. And with the second impact, it like would push things out. So
yeah. And I think some of the idea behind it is like if it has the messy tag, you're not cleaning up this.
Yeah.
yeah.
And you're not hiding the scene of what has happened here.
My natural attack is a 1 harm hand life drain.
Really?
Yeah, I just wanted to
It's only
lay you
one.
on the ground before you had a chance to drain any more life. Had to be the one-shot kill.
Wait, I thought you said you did 2
Mode.
harm to her.
Well, they kick some ass. You both do.
Oh,
You both
right.
harm each other.
yeah.
But like I assume with the punch I would not be able to grip her, so it's just a normal attack.
Hmm.
Imagine being
RP.
able to do damage with your hands. Couldn't be me.
Now that we saw 2 of the hard-hitting melee fighters, do you guys want to see 2 mages fight?
Yeah, if Ash and Z want to run one, then
Oh god.
go for it.
Do you want to run one, Kinder?
You mean hand to hand, correct?
Yeah, sure.
You're best up there.
The second
say,
you
like,
use magic, it's
oh.
over.
I
Okay, fine.
You lose.
you're not allowed to use magic against another hunter. Ash,
Won't.
if
Don't
you do,
worry.
you can literally put someone into unstable with one hit.
I know I can. I can. I have like fucking 4 base damage. I know.
I think you are capable of doing the most. Currently, you are capable of doing the most harm in one hit out of the whole
Yep.
party.
Yep.
Because I believe yours is
2 base with the blast, and then +2 on top of that for the fire.
yeah.
So 4 total. Yep.
Wait, character sheet.
Sun does 4. Yeah, but it's reload,
Um,
so it's once every other turn.
2 +2 harm.
I'm guessing it's the grenade launcher.
Damn straight.
Yeah. Why do you think Ash is the grenade?
Good thing I didn't end up taking that other move.
Gosh. Okay, cool. I guess. Which one of you would sort of, let's RP through this. Which one of you would sort of start this? As you guys, again, it would probably be something similar. Actually, the 2 of you know each other a little bit better. So the 2 of you might have planned this, or either like maybe even do this regularly. So just sort of RP me, or RP for me how this sort of came about.
See, I promise I won't use magic on you this time.
Z stands up, takes up a stance, and then says, "Are you sure that it's fighting that you want to do? It seems like it's always talking."
Oh.
Ooh. Fine then. Let's go. She'll vault where she was sitting into an open area.
Do we even have hand-to-hand options?
Yes, we do.
I think everybody just technically does just one harm, intimate, as a base
Okay.
punch.
Mm.
Because I don't want to come at you with a knife. That wouldn't make sense.
Oh, okay. Why did you think the exact same thing I did?
I mean,
I was gonna
there's
come at you with a
probably
knife.
there's like sparring weapons that you guys could be using as well, like essentially wooden knives.
I'm gonna bring a sniper rifle to a knife fight.
So they're like one-harm knives.
Yeah, essentially. You guys could just
Oh,
be
I guess
using
that makes
those.
sense.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Z goes
Doesn't
and
knife-
collects.
And doesn't do knife fighting with me, and I'm upset. And I need somebody to fight. Come on.
I'm used to practicing with others. It should be fine.
Yeah.
All right. Which one of you wants
Come
to
at
throw
me.
the first punch? Proverbial punch.
Ash will go for the knees.
Okay.
The knee.
Go for the knee.
I need
All
those
right.
for standing.
Roll kick some ass then.
This is gonna go so horribly wrong. Oh, that's actually pretty good.
Mixed success. You'll deal harm to Z, and Z deals harm to you. So 1 each.
Cool.
Z. Make your
Uh,
plus tough roll.
I'm just gonna say that you go for the knees, but Z also goes for your knees.
We both go for the knees.
But that was just during the harm on harm. Then Z
Mhm.
lifts up and goes to hit you on like the shoulder.
Another mixed.
This is going
Another
exactly as I thought it would.
Z's hit connects with Ash's shoulder, and Ash, how do you strike back?
Well, with the momentum of being hit in the shoulder, we'll kind of do like a back roll and then just from the floor once swipe at the back of the calves.
Makes sense.
Hit low and quick. And then bounce up.
And then roll your plus tough, unless there's something else that you want to do. Kick some ass,
Kick some ass.
and
Can't wait to see this draw.
technically, even on a mixed, Ash wins here, because since Ash would be hitting first.
Ash is quick.
Well, but they
Ash is
deal
fast.
damage to each other, so it'd still be a draw.
It's
quick.
the same way I have it
Ash is
work with the
fast.
monsters. If you guys kill them
Ash
on
is
that hit.
quick.
Oh, that's a
Ash is
full
fast.
success. Well, either way, what extra effect do you take here?
And with the as Z goes to strike again, she'll block it. And then with that, plunge the knife straight towards their chest and just leave it like with the point there.
Mhm.
But it's kind of backhanded. Like you would usually fight with a knife.
Yeah.
I think I win this one.
Aw, you're flirting.
Don't know how that is, but
Z sighs and then puts up their hands and drops the knife.
yay! I did it! I didn't think I was gonna win against you.
Like you said, we brought knives to a mage fight.
Okay, that's fair. I thought you would be more skilled with hand-to-hand combat than me. I only have experience with more acrobatic stuff and a knife. Well, I do have experience with a knife. That's fair.
Unfortunately, that kind of training wasn't allowed to me.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't come from a great place, but hey, since you agreed to spar with me, and I won, how about I treat you to snacks?
All right. The promise of food is always going to be accepted.
Yay!
God bless. I love Ash as a character. Child.
Is
Baby.
child. She is.
You're not even the youngest.
Nope.
Pulls out the box of donuts she stole earlier. Snack.
Z reaches over and gives you one head pat.
Aw, wholesome.
Memes.
Alright. Unless anybody else has anything they want to do, I would like to have a word with Mr. Sun.
Uh-oh. Why do you phrase it like that? Don't you mommy voice at me, miss.
Oh, but I thought you liked it.
What? I mean, don't call me out on stream like this. What the fuck?
I mean,
Anywho's it's. Yeah, is there anything else that anybody wants to do?
I think I'm good.
Cool. Let me look. That's the mission archive. I don't want to delete that again. There is mission board. So currently, it's looking like our groups are Enlil, Mr. Sun, M, and Z. For our first group, James and Red are currently on the same group for the first one, with a few people that are going to fill spaces, and then Ash and Wallace are in the last group with there are 3 people who haven't done it, and they are currently not here. Or do I know how to count? Yeah, cool, I know how to count. So soon, hopefully, by the first full hunt, we will figure that out. Make sure to plan amongst your group with when your hunt is going to be and when you're all available for it, and I should be pretty good to go for pretty much any day. Just figure that out sooner rather than later, and I will get the others to sign up for the other hunts so you guys can start getting that planned as well. So thank you muchly. I think we are going to finish this on the conversation with Mr. Sun.
Also, don't forget the playing of the video for Nuck.
Yes, of course. I will do that at the end as well, since I fucked that up at the start.
I intentionally said I did not want to go last because I did not want to be some sort of finale, and fucking here we are. God.
You're the one
We
who
tried
dragged
our best,
everybody.
really. I'm sorry.
Look, you could have avoided this by not dragging everybody up from the call and making a surprise group session that I was not aware of.
You know what? Sometimes there's surprises in D&D, miss.
To be fair, you
They're
really have
supposed to
have
be
a-
from me.
Well,
that's what you think.
yeah, I mean, and Lil almost killed our monster, so that could have been a surprise. I think crits aren't real.
Gosh.
Alright,
Okay.
I'll go wait and baby.
I will
No.
see you all
The
for.
monster wasn't the only one that I almost killed.
It's true.
God. So good.
I will see you all for your hunts. When we get them all scheduled and we start them.
Hey, adios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Gaming.
You know what? Just to make this really a finale, I'm gonna get to do this for you. Hold on, I need to grab some music.
Oh, boss music plays. Miss tells me to roll.
It's not boss music. It's chill music. Oh, not that one. That's not the one that I
That
wanted.
was not very chill.
That was not chill. That was the wrong Celeste song. Where the fizzity fuck did I put
How did
this
I
piece?
hear that?
Because roll 20.
Oh, I didn't know that even had an audio component to it.
Yeah, it's very cool. Did I not drag over the track? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was really funny. They were like, "Yeah, Mr. Sun's the pro tag," and I was like, "I don't want to go last because I'm tired of this joke." And here we are.
I gave Wallace a whole recording to themselves.
Yeah, Wallace is the pro tag, guys, not me. My character dies when I decide, which can be any moment.
You get a full fucking solo thing at the end because you decided that you wanted to throw 4 NPCs at me, and we have to find a canonical reason for this.
Yes. We knew they were eventually coming.
I knew, yeah.
This is not a total surprise.
No, it is not a total surprise. I've known it was happening for a while. I'm just saying. You put yourself into this position.
Hey, I took the funnest option in my level ups, okay?
It's true.
Especially 'cause
Nobody is really the pro tag. And I'm very, very purposely trying to give every character their moments to shine. It is just certain characters are better for early story setup than others, and that's just kind of how the playbooks be.
Yeah. My character's RP heavy, not combat heavy.
Yeah. Essentially, everybody will eventually be able to be the, like, pro tag of their own segments of the story, and some of that is going to start this month. So I will be excited to start hopping into that. But,
That's my level 6 ability that you have to fear.
The moment will bear the mantle of the protagonist, of course. All right, I got the right music now. So
Mantle of these nuts.
So, Mr. Sun, you walk into one of the smaller side rooms in Middle Tower to meet with Candace Everbright. You know why you're both there. She is still unaware. And you walk in. She's already in there. She smiles and, Mr. Sun, you wanted to speak with me?
Sarah, thank you for taking the time out of your busy day. I had a interesting proposal come my way after our last mission. It turned out to be rather helpful for Celestine operations.
Oh, and what might this be?
Well, as the agreement was initially stated, of course, any findings that Middle Tower has, I do also pass on to my organization. And due to the samples of the spores, they have deemed Middle Tower is more than just a startup. They see promise in this organization, and if I may, and he moves to go take a seat and gestures for her to do the same, kind of showing that this might be a lot.
And she sits down.
So, initially, oh my god, I almost knocked my phone off my desk.
No, be careful, Mr. Sun. Be careful.
Very similar to Middle Tower, the organization typically works in teams. I have stopped working with my normal team to come over here and help out with these operations. And with my report saying that the people you've put together being actually somehow quite compatible, even beyond my initial first impression, they are granting me permission to lead my own team. And with that, he then reaches to his briefcase that he's normally carrying and pulls out 4 files, offering them to Candace to look over. And inside are the 4 operatives, of course. I've specifically picked out 4 people that have been getting scouted, one of which has been with Celestine for a while now, that I think would be beneficial not only to help the field agents when we're doing the missions that you give us, but also help you and your team here at Middle Tower. They would be completely under the direction of, foremost, myself, and secondly, whoever they're helping out here at Middle Tower.
How, as Candace is flipping through the files, and when you handed them over to her, her face turned from just like smiling and sort of understanding to sort of a little bit of a grim business expression, and she just starts flipping through the files and sighs. I was like, how much of this is your agency's idea, if not all of it?
Well, I've never declined an offer that they've given me. So it is possible that I could have, but I do not know the consequences of that. That being said, these are all fresh, save for one, fresh members of the organization. Their first dealings in this sort of work would be with Middle Tower.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to decide if it's really worth it for our operation to take on 4 new agents. We're already tracking
What's good, playa? Talk to me.
the 11 hunters that we have, who are also helping out with everybody in their downtime, are all of our staff. And then on top of that, we have our very capable staff. Is there anything else that the agency was offering us? I'm assuming we're not going to have to be babysitting them. They're all seeming fairly capable.
They mostly would be learning the ropes from this, but they are capable in their fields, if not a little green. They are not offering pay or benefits to Middle Tower, but obviously the agents will not be receiving the same benefits that I receive while working with Middle Tower. They will be getting compensated from Celestine.
This makes sense. Well,
their primary goal, or what I would hope that they could accomplish here, is offering an extra hand in the case that things get busy, or if Oh, and they'll pretty much only be working when I'm working as well. If that wasn't already clear. Because they do, again, pretty much primarily respond to my direction.
Yeah, you've made that fairly clear by this point. I simply have a worry, and it's not to do with you, Mr. Sun. I know your intentions are, well, as positive and well-meaning as they can be. It is mostly with your organization. I'm a little bit more familiar with it than you might think.
That does cause me some concern. It's understandable that you would have access to maybe more information than I thought you would. I know when you initially discussed a member that goes by Seeker in the introductions, this was something I've looked into, and from that from my lack of findings, I can see I am not a member of the only secretive organization. That being said, myself and Middle Tower don't actually know the real objective here at Middle Tower, but the results are real. And that speaks plainly for itself, which is, from my understanding, the only reason this extra help is being offered. As well as for my own sanity, so we don't have to ever leave a mission in order to return to Middle Tower. We can have somebody else do that sort of transit for us.
Well, as long as Celestine keeps their... As much as I appreciate their help, and I am willing to take on these agents of yours, could always use a little bit of extra help around here. I'm hesitant to interact more with your agency than is really necessary. I won't let on too much right now for, well, pardon me, but I'm not sure if I can really trust handing any more information to you just yet. And I know that a lot of other hunters and such feel the same way about you, but I have to know where you lie before I can say much more, and that will come with time. But hopefully we can have another one of these talks soon, Mr. Sun, and hopefully I can tell you a little bit more.
He takes a moment to think. Definitely always boils down to trust. Understandable.
And again,
Alright.
it's not you, simply the people you're working with that, well, it's hard to trust somebody who is being paid by, someone or a group that is as shady as Celestine. As I'm sure you know more than I do, having done work for them.
I'll take the first step then. Cecil Sunsava. That name can stay between us when behind closed doors like this. It is a pleasure to officially meet you, Candace Everbright. Now, I'm sure the rest of the trust will come with time, but my loyalties are plain and simple. if I can go far with Middle Tower and with this mission, then I can go further in this organization you're so worried about. Depending on your success and my success with you, I think Middle Tower will have nothing to fear of an organization that hides primarily behind secrecy over the agenda of helping people. But again, I'll have to prove this over time.
Candace is taken aback. I wasn't expecting this much from you. Well, after your next mission, or next month, sometime soon, let's talk again. And she opens the door and gives you the same smile that you're used to seeing from Candace. And she walks out.
When she's out of their room, Mr. Sun just quietly mutters, maybe just her and I will go get donuts then.
And cool, we can end that segment with that. And I will sort of flavor this as, when you want to, you can take the hang out with Candace downtime activity, and we can run that and at a time that makes sense. And you will get to know a little bit more.
So next month.
Yeah, exactly. So next month you want to take that and get to know a little
absolutely.
bit more, then you can feel free.
I'm not going to take points for leveling you. Who metagames? Not me. I'm here for the story.
I mean, to be fair, you're also a professional, like, in the world, so it makes sense for you to not be going and doing regular training. You're not in the shonen arc. You're in...
That's true. That is true. Oh god, I hate that though. That's actually really funny. I've passed my shonen arc. That means I've passed pro tag status. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm the older side character.
Merely being used for me to translate information into the game.
Fuck you, Lil Willie. I'm going on a meeting with Candace.
I can't wait to talk politics, in-game politics.
I mean,
Woo!
that's exciting for Mr. Sun. That's an ideal evening right there.
It's something that I'm actually excited to talk more about with the world, because I haven't discussed a lot of how that stuff works, even though it would be fairly common knowledge. But I might.
Do you remember the offhanded joke I made a while ago about my 6th level that I'd be taking, assuming I survived that long?
Was it the retirement one?
No, it was the get all other players hired by the agents.
Mm-hmm.
So depending how, obviously depending where this world goes and how big Middle Tower goes, they might, assuming the success and the popularity aspect that Middle Tower has to worry about, as opposed to Celestine being completely secret, they could easily overpass a company hiding.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to see where it goes. I think the biggest thing, and I guess now is a fine time to talk about it, and the biggest thing is how the government works in Lacrimosa, because it is, as I've mentioned before, it's ruled by an oligarchy of 5 people. But those 5 people, well, of course, there's some people who know who these people are, but nobody knows who the 5 leaders are. It is very purposefully in Lacrimosa politics to keep the 5 leaders completely incognito, completely behind closed doors.
I'm noticing there's 5 members of Middle Tower.
That is a connection. But there are 5 essentially hidden leaders of this city that nobody knows who they are.
How exciting.
Yes.
Looking forward to next month.